Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the RDA. I hope you are doing well. It is your Manchester United versus Leicester City preview, reaction. Loads to talk about, lots of positives, lots of negatives, so let's get into it. First of all, we are not in a genuine title race. Mathematically we are, but in reality we are not. Football doesn't work on maths, football doesn't work on paper, football works in reality, football works in results. And the harsh reality is we are not prepared to keep a clean sheet against some of the best sides in the league, let alone the worst sides in the league, because we couldn't keep a clean sheet against Sheffield United, and they're the worst. We couldn't do it against Arsenal either, so even in a banter perspective, they're the worst as well, and we couldn't keep a clean sheet against them. But yeah, I just had to get that off. And in terms of results, 2-2 draw. Now, in isolation, that is not a horrible result. You'll see a lot of people saying United bottled it. United bottled this, United bottled that. You can't bottle something if you weren't going for whatever it is you bottled. We are not in a title race. We should never have ever thought we were in a title race, and saying we bottled it doesn't make no sense to me, because you basically think this manager, this squad, this board, and our CEO, who's in charge of transfers as well, and Matt Judge are all good enough to win a title. Are you mad, fam? Have you been smoking that good ganja? But anyways, let's talk about the game. Martial, absolutely awful. 0 out of 10. You know, I don't usually give player ratings on this unless it's really, really bad. Martial was absolutely awful. And you know what's funny? You'll have a lot of people giving Rashford a low score today because he missed 2 chances, even though he scored a goal. And same with Bruno Fernandes. A lot of people will give him a low score because he gave the ball away a lot, but he was the reason why we came back into that game. Him and Rashford are the reason why we even got the draw. Everyone else on that team, in my opinion, was awful. Absolutely awful. Pogba came on in the second half and he had a bit of an impact, but like not much. And I don't know if that was because of what was happening around him, but I don't think he had the space and the time to create the chances that he wanted to, so he was forced to drive the ball up the field as usual, and the synchronicity with these other teammates was just not there, in my opinion. You know, that's just what I think. The first 25 minutes were flat from us, even though we did score. The opening 2 to 3 minutes were very good, and Rashford should have put that away. And then obviously in the 25th minute or whatever it was, Bruno Fernandes scored. Marcus Rashford scored, and Bruno Fernandes got the assist with the cheeky little toe poke. But other than that, I don't know. I think Bruno Fernandes was my man of the match. Let's talk about the team selection for a bit. Team selection, I don't completely agree with it. I don't. I think McFred is okay. They didn't play terribly. McTominay is partially to blame for the first goal, and Fred didn't really do much in that first half, but in the second half he came a bit more to life, in my opinion. It is what it is. Dan James was an awful selection. I don't think this was the game for him. He didn't have space to run in behind. Leicester did press, but it wasn't a full-on high press. It was more like a half press, if that makes sense. Like their centre-backs weren't playing a high line. It was the attackers who were pressing and the centre-backs kind of just sitting deep. And they didn't give Dan James space to run in behind. And I thought he was null and void. I thought he was useless. Even when he did drop deep to try help link up the attack, he was awful. He lost the ball so many times. So Dan James, awful selection for me. I don't get it, bruv. I honestly don't get it. Lindelof playing right back. I mean, it is what it is. When you don't have a spare right back, and Wan-Bissaka is not a robot, he's not a machine, he needs to rest. This is what happens. This is what happens. People think we're in a title race and we were playing Victor Lindelof at right back. Victor Lindelof at right back. And we brought Tonzebe on as a right back because Victor Lindelof got injured. Luke Shaw looked absolutely knackered today. He looked absolutely knackered. And I don't think Luke Shaw had an awful game, but he could have been better in certain elements. But that's what you get from Luke Shaw. Solid defensive performance, sturdy, trustworthy, but then going forward, nothing to offer. Nothing to offer, especially when you can't link up with Rashford. And the link up with Rashford is so predictable that there's a lack of creativity down that left-hand side. So we're then forced to go on the right-hand side. And guess who we have on the right-hand side? Dan bloody James, Sonic the Hedgehog, Duracell Bunny FC. It was just written in the stars that we were never going to win this game, in my opinion. But I'm happy that we didn't lose. I'm happy that we were sat here at least able to draw away some positives from this game, you know? And I'm sure after everybody's calmed down, they'll realize that this team ain't good enough to win a title. This team ain't good enough to win a title since Alex Ferguson left, mate. I said in 2013 that we would not win a title for at least 10 years to somebody on this channel. I'll leave it up to you to take a guess who it is. And they laughed at me. Well, you're not laughing now, are you? It's almost 2021. Still 2 more years on the clock before this team is eligible to win a title, in my opinion. But yeah, That's my thoughts on our performance. Nothing much to say, honestly. I think the people who are going in hard on Bruno, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Agendas will be agendas. Yes, Bruno Fernandes gave away the ball a lot today. Yes, Bruno Fernandes was to blame for the goal. Not entirely, because Mustomini should be covering that shot and cutting off that angle. But it is what it is. It is what it is. What else? If Bruno Fernandes played so awfully today, then how badly was everybody else? To those people who think Bruno was terrible, you know, how bad was the rest of our team? Leicester, I didn't really think much of them. You know, I think they were threatening in moments, but they looked very lethargic. They looked like they didn't really have, I don't know, they weren't really playing with a high tempo, and they didn't need to, because they were playing against a flat United side. They did boss that first 25 minutes, I thought, but then after that, it was just an even cagey game where we were all just passing between our back four. It seemed like United were obsessed with the long ball tactic, whereas Leicester were more looking to hold the ball and wait for their opportunities. And fair play, it worked for them, man. They got the draw. You know, I'm sure Leicester will be happy with that draw, but nothing else to say. Hopefully this opens up some people's eyes, and hopefully tomorrow we're sat here looking at the table going, Arsenal 17th. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, peace out. And let me know what you thought of that game in the comments down below. Until then, till the next one, it's been your boy Triple M, and peace.